The NFL is a league built on superstars. Whether it's Madden, fantasy football, or hometown support, fans tune in and buy products to watch their favorite athletes perform and pursue greatness. The relationship NFL stars have with their supporters is so intense that it often transcends a normal player-fan relationship into friends or even family. That is why it is such massive news when one such star decides to leave the city which he has bestowed his greatness upon in order to move to another. And when such a thing does occur, people start talking.
I got to get to some breaking news because J.J. Watt is no longer a Texan. In a video he released on Twitter this morning, Watt says he sat down with the McNair family, asked for his release, and they've mutually agreed to part ways.
Houston, we have a problem. I've got more news coming out of Houston, and I can't wait to get your reaction. Star defensive end J.J. Watt, one time maybe considered the face of the league, is being released by the Texans.
J.J. Watt gone from the Texans as of this morning. J.J. Watt is now a free agent. He is going to be on the move.
Yes, the rumors were true, and the J.J. Watt era has come to an end in Houston, Texas. After the team's turbulent 4-12 season, which saw the firing of head coach Bill O'Brien, the rumored departure of star quarterback Deshaun Watson, and an incumbent rebuild, Texans megastar J.J. Watt has asked to be released from the team to revive his career in a new location. I thought I'd never see the day. For much of the past decade, J.J. Watt has been the poster boy for the Texans franchise, a leader on and off the football field, and the beating heart of one of America's biggest cities. As the rest of the NFL scrambles to sign the future first ballot Hall of Famer, today we'll look back at J.J. Watt's incredible rise to stardom and talk about how much he has left to contribute. But before we get into the meat and potatoes, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and turn notifications on for more football videos like this. Thanks and enjoy the content. While we all may look at JJ today as the 9,000 calorie eating, 1,000 pound tire flipping, 3-time defensive player of the year, JJ Watt came from a humble background. JJ grew up in the small town of Pewaukee, Wisconsin, to parents Connie and John Watt and 2 brothers who also play in the NFL today, TJ and Derek. As you can imagine, it was a competitive atmosphere. Athletics was always a cornerstone of the Watt house, and believe it or not, before JJ ever had aspirations for the NFL, he played hockey. JJ was talented and traveled to Germany and Canada to play against other youngsters. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately in the long run, JJ had to give up hockey because his parents couldn't afford the expensive gear and long-distance travel. This move away from hockey caused JJ, who was already showing incredible athletic potential, to transition to football. JJ would play tight end and defensive end for his hometown high school in Pewaukee. There he would meet longtime trainer and friend Brad Arnett, who would act as a role model and second father figure throughout JJ's life, and still trains JJ to this day. During his senior year, JJ recorded 399 receiving yards, 26 catches, 5 touchdowns, and first-team All-State honors, while also demolishing the school's shot put record previously held by his father on just 8 weeks of practice. Unfortunately, JJ came down with mononucleosis that year and was sidelined for much of the recruiting process, causing him not to be seen by many scouts. This caused the talented athlete to be overlooked as a 2-star recruit, being offered spots at Central Michigan and Minnesota. A bad visit to Minnesota caused JJ to commit to Central Michigan and begin his journey at the college level. His first year at Central Michigan, he was the team's starting tight end in a conference-winning season. But the team ran a spread offense, meaning JJ was only on the field for 15 to 20 snaps a game and mostly in a blocking capacity. He finished the season with 8 receptions for 77 yards and no touchdowns. Suffice to say, the ultra-competitive Watt was not satisfied, so the decision he would make next would completely alter the course of his career and his life as he knew it. JJ decided to transfer to University of Wisconsin, giving up his scholarship at Central Michigan, sitting out a year per NCAA rules, and having to walk on at a completely new university. And here's the kicker, his parents could only afford to pay for 1 year of Wisconsin. What was he thinking? Just listen to JJ.
But in my head, it was a gamble on myself. I was willing to put all the chips in. I was willing to gamble everything I had on myself, knowing that nobody was going to stop me from accomplishing my goal.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, drive like that sends shivers up the spine. During the year he had to sit out, JJ famously worked as a Papa John's delivery boy. As the story goes, one day delivering pizza, he knocked on a door and was met by a child who recognized him from his Central Michigan days. The kid wondered why one of his favorite players was delivering pizzas instead of playing football, and that inspired JJ to bulk up and take his game to the next level. And bulk up he did. An already 220-pound Watt became an absolute monster in the weight room, adding 70 pounds to his massive frame. Watt would go on to earn a scholarship at the University of Wisconsin before even stepping on the field. And after just 2 seasons with the Badgers, Watt racked up 106 tackles, 11.5 sacks, and an interception to go along with a Ronnie Lott Trophy, a Sports Illustrated second-team All-American, an All-Big Ten first team, an academic All-Big Ten, and a team MVP. This resume would make Watt a top prospect for the 2011 NFL Draft. Although Watt had a surprisingly impressive combine performance, he still garnered the reputation among scouts as a hard worker without as much athletic potential at the top of the class. Just listen to JJ reading his scouting report years later.
Okay. Won't consistently get the edge on tackles with his get off or quickness. Whoops. That means I'm slow. Plays high at times, can be blown off the ball by a double team, but does fight hard to hold his ground. I do fight hard to hold my ground.
Okay, all right.
His recognition skills leave something to be desired.
I think they just called you dumb is what they did.
Yeah,
that's mean.
That's a knock on the old noggin. He flashes good hand usage at times, but needs to get stronger at the point of it. Do I need to get stronger? He needs to gain some more weight to fill out and to continue to learn how to use his hands effectively. Can you imagine what I could do if I learned how to use my hands effectively?
Wow.
He won't ever be a stud pass rusher.
That was real.
I only wish I could be one. I only wish. But he could still stand to learn some pass rush moves beyond his bull rush and occasional swim to the inside if a tackle opens his... Who wrote this?
Yup, hilarious. Due to this reputation, when JJ was selected with the 11th overall pick by the Houston Texans, this is what happened.
With the 11th pick in the 2011 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select J.J. Watt, defensive end, Wisconsin. Texans select J.J. Watt.
I hate it. It's a bad pick. Move down and pick him. Don't waste an 11th pick on him.
There have been disappointed people, and that's fine with me. I've been doubted before, and I have confidence in myself as a football player.
JJ would later admit that this moment lit a fire under his belly, and he still has that video on his computer to this day. And maybe it was all for the better, because the next 10 years that ensued was nothing short of historic. At one point, Watt was a candidate for best football player ever, racking up an absurd 101 sacks, 6 touchdowns, 3 Defensive Player of the Years, 8 All-Pros, 5 Pro Bowls, 282 QB hits, and 531 tackles in 128 games with the Texans. I mean, I could sit here reading JJ Watt statistics all day, so let me narrow it down to just a few of the craziest. The man had at least a sack, tackle, or QB hit in every single NFL game he's played, except for one. He is currently sitting at 3rd in all-time NFL sack leaders, and completed a 61-inch box jump at 295 pounds. What? But maybe even more impressive than his work on the field, if that is possible, is his work off it. The former Walter Payton Man of the Year started the J.J. Watt Foundation in college at Wisconsin. Yes, he started his charity organization while he was still in college. The organization is committed to providing after-school opportunities for middle school-age children in the community to become involved in athletics so that they learn the character traits of accountability, teamwork, leadership, work ethic, and perseverance while in a safe and supervising environment with their peers. And today, he has grown the organization to funding $6.3 million to 700 plus schools in 38 states. And who could forget the organization's work in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey, raising an incredible $41.6 million, rebuilding 600 homes, 420 childcare centers, and serving 26 meals. This sort of action has made JJ a fan favorite and really shows his relationship with the city. Okay, now to address the idiots.
Watt, players like him. Of course, that's why I say that his leadership means a lot to a team bringing him in. But you can't argue that the guy has been on the downside of his career for a little bit now, and he can't stay healthy. And I look at J.J. Watt, it's kind of like the Cam Newton story last year. Oh, man.
Though the back half of JJ's career has been plagued with injuries, including a dislocated elbow which caused him to wear that terrifying, iconic arm brace on the field, and though he may be coming off what appears to be the worst statistical year of his career, if there's one thing I'm not going to do, it's bet against JJ Watt. Though he posted a career-low 5 sacks for a healthy season, he was still the most double-teamed edge rusher in the league and got no favors from Bill O'Brien's scheme and a leaky secondary. Though he may not be at a Defensive Player of the Year level anymore, he still has a whole lot of value to bring to a needy franchise. The obvious comparison is Ndamukong Suh, an older former beast who transitioned to a new team, gave them solid value, and helped them win a Super Bowl. Whether JJ links up with his brothers in Pittsburgh, goes home to Green Bay, joins the GOAT in Tampa Bay, or any other landing spot, there is no doubt he will quickly become a fan favorite and give whatever team is lucky enough to have him some serious minutes. But that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please show me some love and let me know what you think in the comments down below. And I'll see you next time on the next episode of Max Sports.